Tune in. The Black Hair Party presents the Real Talk Show. We talk about friendship, love, and purpose. Right here's your host, JRX36, my special guest, Jacob IU, and this is an All Ages Alliance production.
Yes. 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 Here we are. IU, JRX 36, Crown J, JJ every day. That's right. You know, we about to hop in this box, but before we hop in this box, Jaden's taking care of some technical issues. He's making sure we got enough space on the computer so that we could do the job that we trying to get done. Today we about to go back in time on an earlier video, or the last video. I think it was yesterday. Did it get a copyright claim? I got all these copyright claims. It's all good. What's a copyright anyway, right? What's a copyright? I believe in giving people credit if you remember who you got something from, especially if you're using it word for word. I think it's important to, share who you're inspired by, that way people can kind of see who's influenced you and it doesn't feel like it's like copying, even though copying, like who's to say that it's wrong to copy, like, right? Like you can, imitation is a form of flattery. That's a saying I think I've heard. Imitation is a form of flattery. In other words, to be copied is a compliment, right? Like if you're being copied, it's a compliment. So if you're copying someone, that's like there's some level of respect, but you should give them credit. Like, why not? Like, especially if you admire what they do, you should give them credit if you're gonna say something that they said. Now, granted, like for instance, for me, I've been exposed to so many different people and sayings that I really don't remember where I got what from, so it's a bit challenging to really give credit specifically. So I try not to quote people. My goal is to just speak and create my own quotes. But I definitely know that my quotes are influenced by all the people I've come in contact with. Today we drinking on some, it ain't gonna show you. Yep, on some hum. Is that a hum? Hum or hume? Hum or hume? It's either hum or hume. Hum or hume, or what do you? Any other things? Any other ideas of what it might be?
No.
Which one do you think it is?
Hum.
Because if it was hume, like human, hume, maybe it'd be an N. If it was hume, if it's like correct English, I guess. But yeah, so I mean, you tell me, what does it say? What does it say? Look, I'm giving a plug to this plug. Hume.
Okay.
So I heard a sound. I think we in the house. Oh, you sharing the screen?
Yeah, but it's not playing. So now
That's cool. That's all good.
Yeah.
Maybe we can play a little bit of show the mess that used to be in the background. 'Cause it's kind of neater.
Did that now? Yeah, now we got our extra space.
Oh, there he go. Ooh, that man, look at that man right there. Look at that man, my head coming out, my head coming out. Oh, that boy got teeth.
Shadow?
You see the teeth?
You see Shadow?
Tune in. The Black Hair Party presents the Real Talk. So we talk about friendship, love, and purpose. I am JRX 36 and
37.
this is Juju Boy 37. JRX 37. This is IUV
38.
39. IUV.
30.
And this is an All Ages Alliance production. Today we about to hop in this box and go back in time. We on Facebook timeline again. again, been on Facebook timeline for a couple weeks, I believe. Not exactly sure. It's been at least a week. But let me go ahead and share my screen so that we can get all the way caught up. Now, if you've been tuning in, you know that I've been ending on this young boy right here, or this person. Let's not call him a boy, but that's Julian Cruz in particular. But technically speaking, he's not a he or a she. It's a child. This is a child. However, I'm using the logo of this child as me logo, my logo. He got all black. I got all black. We good, right? He's just. And any other child should be able to identify to this child. That's the whole point. Like, so I call them a he because I'm a he. So I express myself as a he. So now, if you are a she, you could say that's you too, right? This is a child. If you connect to the child, you could be that child. So this is my logo, which could also be your logo, our logo. This is the logo we share, right? Because I didn't make it up. I ain't even draw it, right? That's a child that play, right? See some hair. Maybe it's wrapped in that bun. But either way, here we go. So save time, find jewels. Little boy right there. They used to call me little boy, just so you know. You know, keep it just moving. That was if you suffer in silence, I wish you all the best. Black or more hair. If you suffer in silence, I wish you all the best. You know, there's a lot of, I'll say us, that suffer in silence. I say us because, do I need to complain about it? Like, if I talk about it, is it a complaint? Now, what does the suffering mean? Suffering means not complete ease. So the goal is to experience complete ease, or to experience ease. Now, if you're not experiencing ease and you're experiencing suffering, and I can say I have experienced suffering, I have experienced not being at ease. Now, how deep is it, or how far can we go with it? Well, if you are stressed, anxious, overthinking things about the past or the future, then that's a form of suffering. So if you're having money conversations, that's a form of suffering. You're having relationship conversations, and I mean negative conversation, that's a source of suffering. And if you suffer in silence, I wish you all the best. Black or more hair. Now, let me go in a little bit more on that, because people suffer in silence that are dealing with a lot of other issues than maybe any of the issues I brought up. Some people suffer in silence because they've been neglected. Some people suffer in silence because they've been fill in the blank. I prefer not to elicit those thoughts at the moment. But at this point, I guess you can already imagine some of the things that people are being silent about. So if you suffer in silence, I want to be here for you, because I guess to an extent I suffer in silence. And I think maybe I went into this yesterday. And I'll use the word, I use suffer, and I'll use the past tense, suffered, because I feel ease. I feel ease. Am I 100% at ease? Not physically. Emotionally, I practice reset every day, so I could say that I'm at ease right now, right? And every day I reset, and when I wake up, I'm at ease, and I'm pretty much at ease the whole day, right? Like, doesn't mean that I don't go through challenging moments, or moments where I can experience pressure, or moments where I could experience, disruptive vibrations. But me, I'm good. Like my mental state is optimistic. I'm locked and loaded in optimism, right? And by locked and loaded, I mean like my mind is fixed on being optimistic, right? So I seek to find the silver lining. I seek to find the good in everything. We've talked about that before, right? So suffering for me at this point, it's almost like I could see it coming, right? Because if you're experiencing ease, the moment you feel off easiness or dis-ease, you're conscious of it, like immediately, like, so it allows to see it coming allows you to not be subject to it. Bessie the baby. I put him down. Okay, go find her. So those that suffer in silence, listen, all the best to you. I'm here with you. Like, I hope that you could find therapy in this, and this is therapy for me. And I say therapy because therapy is like a daily practice. Some people draw. I draw for therapy. Some people write music. Like, that's not something I've particularly done as a form of therapy. Art has been, writing has been, but not necessarily songs. Although I've like got that track. Juju, Betsy, come get the baby, please. So yeah, so if you suffer in silence, I wish you all the best. And when I say I wish, that's another way of saying I pray, right? Like some people use the word prayer. I'm not into the word prayer because it has that religious connotation. So, but in when I say I wish, that means it is my prayer, it is my desire. If there is an intelligent designer to give you that which you desire, and if it's ease, may you have it in abundance, right? And I'm reaching out to those that suffer in silence because I feel that those that suffer in silence often are overlooked, or discredited, or disempowered, or like every day it's like something is taken from them. And then some may say, well, you can't really take, like they're giving it up, right? Like, I mean, trauma comes in many ways, and people are traumatized and are behaving and are making decisions based on trauma from when they were children. Now, yes, everyone is responsible and should take ownership for their actions, etc., etc. However, the compassionate side of me makes space for people who have been through challenging experience, especially in their childhood. It's hard, like to expect a child to just get over something, right, without having any knowledge of how to necessarily do that. Like, and then like a child who had expectations that the people closest to him or her would take care of them, and to have that not happen, right? And then now they grow up, and or time passes, better said, than grow up. Like, time passes, and maybe they have some arrested development in certain areas, so they behave kind of childlike in some ways, and in some forms, in some areas they don't necessarily mature, right? And we can talk about what maturity means, right? That word's been very important to me because a lot of people, I guess, would have said that I was immature when I was growing up, and I think I would have to agree now, right? But yeah, I would have to agree. However, I think that some people call immaturity things that it's not. Like, expressing joy or knowing how to have fun is not necessarily immature. Now, doing it at the expense of someone else, yeah, that could be immature. So if I'm like getting experiencing some joy at the benefit of someone else, through my jokes or through my content or my whatever it might be, then yeah, then that's not appropriate, right? That's something I'd have to like check myself, because I don't want to create suffering. Like, people who suffer, like, man, I feel like I've dedicated my life to you, and then when I'm thinking of one person in particular right now, and this has been on my thoughts. It's like, right, you can only meet so many people, you can only impact so many people, and then there's this desire, like in a person like me, to want to impact many people, but why not just impact one, right? And that's easy, let's say, right? Because you can impact the people around you, the ones you spend the most time with, and I spend a lot of time with my children. I spend a lot of time with coworkers, with children at work. Like, I spend a lot of time with a lot of people. But I can just make an impact on one, be intentional about having an impact on one, and and that'll take care of the rest. Meaning if I'm able to vibe at the frequency where I can positively impact one, then it's by default I'm going to impact more than just one. And then the one that I care to impact is the black sheep, right? Like, y'all see the Facebook. I'm the black sheep, right? That's not a goat. That's a black sheep. Now you can call me the goat. That's cool, but what category are we talking about? Because I hope to be the greatest of all time at something, right? At something, I hope to be the greatest of all time, but not at everything. In fact, not at most things. In fact, I only want to be the goat of one thing, right? So outside of that, I'm cool being number 2. I'm cool being number 3, number 4, number 3,000,000, 3,000,000,000, whatever it may be. You know, so it's all good. But my work has evolved or taken me to a place where I care deeply about those that suffer in silence, and I wanna share with those individuals a world, a story about life and reality, or the way that life could be. A new story about life that, in my opinion, to the degree that they are conscious of the story or even are aware of the story, then they could make the choice to create distance between them and suffering if that's what they care to do. Now, practically, what does that look like? The 18 voids. Boom. So practically, the 18 voids about helping people create distance between themselves and suffering. We've gone over the 18 voids before here, so I'm not going to do that now. But you could find the 18 voids, and that's the practical way of creating distance between you and suffering. Practice reset every day. Right, when the sun comes up, you let everything go from the day before. You let it go. Anything that's holding you down, at least. If it's not holding you down and it's pushing you up, then hold on to it. Now, granted, I'm curious to hear what that might be that's pushing you forward from the day before. Right. Other than the result of what you did the day before, and then I can see how the result can move you forward. But go ahead if you can think of another way. I'm curious. Comment on here, hop in the box, right? Yeah, so those that suffer in silence, I've dedicated my life to being able to reach you, being able to influence you, being able to offer you a way of looking at life that may bring you ease or may bring you joy, because I've seen suffering for too many years. I've seen suffering in all shapes and form. Look, I used to work in HIV. Look, perfect. I used to work in HIV. I know what suffering looks like and sounds like. I know what hurt feels like. Like, man, I've heard so many stories that I am unable to record new stories the way I used to, right? Like, it's I would have to be super intentional about recording any new information that's coming into my attention stream when it comes to people's storylines. Like, it's challenging to keep up because I've had so many stories. It's like, from when I used to work in HIV. So I understand suffering, and that's kind of like where my definite purpose was fine-tuned, based on my experiences in there and the other youth program I used to work at. So, but here we go. If you suffer in silence, I wish you all the best. We'll leave it at that. I'll let my future self comment on that, and I'm gonna bring it back and let homie up there or homie over there or homie right there, depending on when you're viewing this, take over. That just means I wish you ease. Central Knights mock trial state championship. Yeah, we made it to the state championship, and then we lost. So they said. And then we lost. Yeah. I'ma just leave it at that. Anthony Del Toro. I'ma just leave it at that. We were a great team. Okay, Goma went in. Goma says systemic racism. I still think about how we got robbed. I know.
I put it in your
I felt salty about the loss for more than 10 years. I had to let it go.
Let
it That's go. Right. JRX 36.
37.
Sheesh. I actually threw away everything, all the newspaper clippings from high school. I threw them away. Whatever ribbons or medals I won in track or awards, I got rid of everything. I said, I'm gonna let it go and I'm not living off the past and I'm gonna create a new life. And I did that. And I regretted that because now I'm a collector. I love to collect everything. I wish I still had that, but I don't. And lesson learned. But all that meant was I was willing to give it all up so I could create and build a new future for myself, right? And that's what this is about. You know, I'm here to create a new now. I'm here to be the best version of myself. And the past, I gotta let it go. Wherever I went before doesn't necessarily gotta determine where I'm gonna go, right? So I gotta treat this new moment like just like that, a new moment, a new opportunity. We know the truth, and that's what matters. Word. Hello. I had to let that loss go because that loss was rough. You know, we deserved to win. In my opinion and the opinion of others, we earned it, right? But we were not gonna be able to necessarily afford going to the nationals. So there's the thought, the conspiracy theory that well, let's let the team win that would be able to afford that. But who knows, right? Those are just words, excuses that those that lose come up with. And yeah, we lost, right? And it's mock trial, but guess what? It made me better. It made me a stronger person. Like my mock trial experiences, like there's a debate like that. I used to be a lawyer and I used to cross-examine people. That was my specialty, and I like knew the objections, and you know I was passionate about that. It was so crucial to my development. Like I would memorize the opening statement, closing statement, and man, like, and by the end I was kind of like working on, if I'm not mistaken, I was writing my own opening and closing statements with the help of Mr. Del Toro, of course, but he had coached me through those years, and man, I'm so appreciative. You know, and I'm gonna come back, Del Toro, but you know, I feel like I gotta come back with something in my hand. I can't come back empty-handed. So I'm gonna come back with IU, I'm gonna come back with opportunity, and we're gonna go from there. Angry face. Central 90 go. And they did too. I remember the newspaper quoted one of them saying, I don't know how we won. How we won. You know what I'm saying? But we won. Oh yeah, we won. This is my princess and my prince, and we going and we scrolling through time. All right, let's read this one. When in season avoiding, the trap is judging. Void expressions, not person. Let me just break it down right then and there. We're gonna go line for line, bar for bar. When in the season avoiding, so that means I am suggesting that there's a time that you're gonna be hypersensitive to all incoming disruptions. And then when these incoming disruptions, when they coming, the key, right, is to not judge. The trap is judging. If you start to judge, it'll make it almost impossible for you to not become emotional, for you not to, you won't be able to let go because you're gonna be judging, and then that person's gonna be triggering you. As you see and interact with that person, you'll get triggered, and the goal of avoiding is to not get triggered, is to be able to prevent or create distance between you and suffering, because you are able to pick up on the expressions that are going to result in that suffering. Now, if you start judging, you know, that's a path towards suffering, because now these judgments are going to come with opinions, and these opinions are going to be followed by thoughts and eventually by actions that are going to result in more situations where you should be avoiding instead of judging. So when you're in the season of voiding, of like being able to see incoming disruptions, the trap is judging. That means be compassionate, be patient with people, and void the expressions, not the person. So focus on the words that you're canceling, not on the person. Don't cancel the person, cancel the words. And if you cancel the words long enough, then the person will cancel themselves. Literally, they'll cancel themselves. When in season of resetting, the trap is emotions. To be free of thought and intention is to be free of emotional charge. Boom. Okay, so emotions, right? So what is causing these emotions? So if you're in a season of resetting, meaning so if the best thing for you to do is not even practice voiding, right? Because for whatever reason you're not there. You just having to like step away from people and reset. Go away and come back. Go away, come back. Go to sleep, wake up. So you have to create distance between you and that which is disrupting you. That means your words, they're coming too late. Voiding is not working because you're already in it. Your emotion is all the way caught up because you're judging, right? So you judging is causing these emotions, right? So now that you got these emotions, you got to learn how to let them go. And then the way to let them go is to void them, right? See it, but you got to see it coming before it gets here. If you can't see it coming, then you won't be able to know how to avoid them, right? So you got to then be able to focus on those disruptions. Now, how do you focus on those things that cause disruption? That's by contemplating, right? Now, when you contemplate, that means you're thinking back. So to the degree that you think back, then you're not thinking forward. And if you're in the season of resetting, the whole purpose is just to let go. Let go. When in season of forming, the trap is contemplating. Meditate, then visualize. Be present in a series of the future now. All right, so boom, when in the season of forming, so now when you hear the word forming, you should think about adding, about building, the plus sign. When you think about voiding, you should think about taking away, minus sign, right? So when you're in the season of forming, when you're in the season of building, the trap is contemplating, which is looking back, right? That's what's gonna slow you down. That's what's gonna take momentum away from whatever it is that you're forming. Can you pick that up? So the key is to meditate when you're in the season of forming, rather than contemplate, meditate, which is clear your mind, reset, right? Reset, and then visualize, and then when you visualize, you're going to be able to put yourself in a position where you're going to be able to know what's the next best move. And that's what the season of forming is all about. The season of forming is about making the next best move. What's the next best move given what I got? So when you're in the season of forming, the trap is contemplating. Meditate, then visualize. Be present in a series of the future moments. You trying to come out on my live again? Be present in a series of future moments. So that means live in the now, right? Let tomorrow come today. So live in the now, live today, that vision of tomorrow. Does that make sense? And the only way you can do that is if you visualize. So you have to visualize that future self for then you to be able to embody that future self now. And if you can make that connection, that link from the future to now, then boom, right there, you it. You've become it. You it. Ease. Like that. So I'll let my future self speak on that. I did break it down already. If you suffer in silence, this keynote may be helpful to you. Black hair, black or more hair. NAP, non-aggression principle. Journey of realization, a framework for fulfillment. Okay. So it looks like that was back in 2011. That was Las Vegas, and that was a keynote, right? And then this keynote was kind of like a autobiographical in many ways. I kind of walked the audience through my journey of transformation, which ultimately became my journey of realization, which I called it there, journey of realization beyond transformation. The idea of change is so important to me because when we're talking about suffering, we're talking about change, right? So I'll be more specific. So when someone is suffering, they want to change that, right? And then when someone is suffering, usually they could remember a time that they weren't suffering, whether it was when they were young or when they weren't ill, et cetera, et cetera. The whole point is that once you've experienced suffering, you know, you desire to experience different than that, something other than suffering, ease, right? So then that's what the journey of transformation, journey of realization, journey of reformation, journey of restoration. That's what these journeys are all about. Now, some people go about changing in a way that is characteristic of realization, kind of like the idea of looking at change from the perspective of realization is like, oh, I just realized that I was a diamond all along, right? That means that, oh snap, something in me is good and beautiful all along, and my thoughts clouded me from that. Or my purpose is to serve others and bring joy and ease to the world, but I got clouded and I was confused first. I was lost for a time, for a season, right? So then that's the idea of realization. It's like, oh man, I all along, it's been here. Now the journey of transformation is gonna connect more to people that are like, okay, like I was I was bad, and now I want to be good, or now I'm good. Meaning like, I used to be this way and now I'm this way. There isn't necessarily that feeling or connection to, oh, I already was that. Oh, there's no realization. It's a transformation, right? And that's a different experience that feels different. And then you got restoration. It's like, yeah, so to restore is to bring back to new, right? Or to refurbish in another sense. So if you're restoring something, that kind of can be like realization, but it's different in that restoration seeks to go back to what it used to be, whereas realization, there's this implication that there is no limit to what the realization can encompass. Like you can realize that you are the brightest, heaviest diamond there exists. Like you can think you can discover that you're divine, right? And that's huge. Whereas when it comes to restoration, or when you look at change from a restorative mindset or perspective, the idea is you're going to go back to the way something was, like make America great again, right? That's like a restorative way of looking at the world. So because America could be greater tomorrow than it's ever been, like it can be a new great, right? Not necessarily make great again, like, but you get where I'm going with this. So then there's reformation, which is like maybe the best approach overall, when it comes to change, when you're dealing with a group, because it basically suggests that change comes one movement, one action at a time. So we're not where we want to be, but we can take one step at a time to where we want to go. And the idea is that every step forward moves us closer to that goal or that desire, that we have in mind. And all that to say is that we're all on a journey, right? And in this journey, there's this passage of time, and then there's this space, this distance that is traveled, and what we believe about that journey, what we believe about that time and space, is going to influence who we decide and choose to become. Dream big, right? Discover your potential, realize who you are, right? Or transform into the best version of yourself, of who you can become. Keynote part 2. Let's go ahead and play a little couple minutes. Why not?
Now, I don't even have words to talk about freedom. What this country's built on.
Love freedom. Love freedom. Now, I don't even got words to talk about freedom. That's what I was about to talk about right there. Boom. Let's go ahead and we'll play a little clip.
I don't even have words to talk about freedom. What this country's built on. The freedom of speech, the freedom of this, that, and the other. Freedom is so beautiful. I don't look, I put pictures. Freedom is just another word for nothing else to lose. That's how I feel. Reality is a state of mind. Reality, what is reality? I define reality. I define my purpose. That's me. I'm free. Never felt better in my life. Happiness? I have happiness. This is me. I'm happy. I'm good. What is that face? I don't know, but it looks good. I got pictures like that in my head. I can't describe. Look at that guy. He got a pie in his face. He's thinking with a pie in his face. How funny is that? That's funny to me. It's a comedy. Love, that's love at the bottom. That's a line. I'm a Leo. And that up there is the seed of life. Sacred geometry.
Where are you in your journey? Where do you intend to go? What's your destination?
When I said thug life is dead.
Thug life. Are you in it
That
to
picture's in my head. And I put the picture up there because I'm asking you a question. Where are you in your journey? I'm not asking you to be where I am. This is where I am. Where are you in your journey? How aware are you? Is awareness what you want? It doesn't have to be. If you want to experience life, so be it. It's okay. You define your purpose, my opinion, my truth. However, if you find yourself hurt, if you find yourself in pain, if you find yourself crying at night and don't know why, then consider your journey.
Yup.
Go to the source of the problem.
Yup.
Do you need to find God?
Maybe you
Do
do.
you need salvation? Maybe you do. But when you're too busy living life, whatever that may be, when you're busting your ass working 40 hours a week or maybe 60, you ain't got time to consider these things.
You ain't got time to think about it. Now. You got time. I'll speak from today. The time is there, but you're gonna have to make sacrifices. You're gonna have to let some people, some hobbies go. Sacrifice. Can you handle that? Maybe you're not cut out for that. You know, not everybody could be El Capo.
So what? Should you not work? No.
Work.
It's for you to decide what happens in your life. Take charge, take control of your life if that's what you want to do. You want to live in misery? Live in misery. So be it. But I'm going to be free. I'm going to be happy. If I see misery and I don't like it, I'm going to talk against it. If I see something I don't like, I don't want, I'm going to be about it. That's me. That's what I have decided. Where do you intend to go? Have you thought about it? I don't know. I have. This is the second part of this presentation. All my life experiences has led me to this point. Realizing fulfillment. So this is my definition. This is my perception of how you can attain fulfillment. Look, I got a math formula. My son loves math. I love math too. Healthy mind times healthy body times healthy soul equals F, fulfillment.
F.
Beyond transformation.
F.
Beyond change of mind, beyond change of thought. It's about fulfillment. Now these are the principles that I believe are important when it comes to fulfillment. Beliefs.
You see that X change?
Consider your beliefs. What do you believe in?
AX.
Do you believe what you've been told?
Alumni exchange.
Then let me know, because I'll control you. You can work for me. State of mind. Two ways to look at life. Positive, negative. If you want to look at life in a negative way, so be it. Be in misery. That's for you. I'm going to look at it positive. Shit happens, oh well. It's made me stronger. It's made me better. Destination is all about goals. Visualizing where you want to go. Don't worry about the details.
Not yet.
Just have an idea where you want to go, if that's what you want to do.
Now the details will come. Look, I'm just enjoying the talk. I mean, I should be interjecting, but I'm getting caught up in the moment. Hopefully, like you. Know what I mean? But when it comes to visualizing, in the beginning, you're only gonna see what you can see, right? Like you gotta focus. You got this big picture you gotta focus on. And the more you focus, the clearer the image becomes. But then the less you could see around it. You just see that specific thing. So then the idea is that you visualize different areas of the picture. And when you see the bigger picture, then now the details of how all the pieces connect will become clear. Kind of like a puzzle, like putting a puzzle together, right? You like puzzles? I like puzzles. You like riddles? I like riddles. Well, I like making riddles, not necessarily answering them. Now, if it's someone I respect, then yeah, I'd love to hear their riddle. Like if their riddles are riddles that make sense to me, I'm into that. If it don't make sense to me, then that means that we may not be vibrating at a level that is harmonious. Right? Why not visualize? Where do you want to go? If you don't have an aim or a target, then you don't have a destination. Now, can you have a desire without having a destination? Like, can you desire? Well, the desire itself becomes a destination, unless the desire is just simply pleasure, and then you will aim to avoid pain. See, I'm not about avoiding pain. I'm about experiencing ease, which is a little bit different. It's like pain is like, I expect pain. How about that? I expect suffering, so then that's why then I maneuver myself. I shape my lifestyle in a manner to where then I'm experiencing ease until I'm not, with the goal of always experiencing ease, right? Being wise and having wisdom to be able to avoid situations that will bring me a disruption that I don't necessarily want to need in my life. Because there's a time and a season for that. There's a time and a season to go through adversity, to feel pressures of all sorts, right? That's how you become a diamond. That's how you shine. That's how you
Crying
glow.
and don't know why? Then consider these things. Numbers. Why numbers? It's all about statistics and probability. Now, I'm not going to go into too much because it requires that I build a foundation about numbers and patterns and observing reality. This reality, because there's multiple realities. There's the reality that you experience from your mind, and then there's the collective reality, the collective awareness that exists in the world. I'll leave that for now. Emotions.
Well, maybe we talk more about that. So that means that reality, right? Numbers and probabilities and statistics or whatever. What is the purpose of that? Identifying patterns is about being able to see reality for what it is. Or the better you are at not being emotionally disrupted by your experiences, to that degree, to that degree you have,
Feelings.
let me read.
How are your feelings driving?
Boom.
It's all about statistics and probability. Now, I'm not going to go into too much because it requires that I build a foundation about numbers and patterns and observing reality. This reality, because there's multiple realities. There's the reality that you experience from your mind, and then there's the collective reality, the collective awareness that exists in the world. I'll leave that for now.
All right, so then that's kind of where I want to go at. Like I got off thought. I fell off the thought train. So I'm trying to catch myself back in it, right? So numbers, statistics, probabilities. When I'm thinking about numbers, the first thought that's coming to my mind now are fears, right? And when I think about fear, I think about death. When I think about death, I think about what is the probability that I'm gonna die doing this activity right here, right now. So like right now, this is like a 0% chance of dying right now, right? By natural causes. However, someone can cause damage to me from this area here, because you hear that. So this is a vulnerable area. But I haven't created any disruptions that would warrant that kind of consequence. Not to say that there aren't people that are not innocent bystanders of crimes and lose their life because of that. But whenever I'm making a decision about anything, right? Anything risky, anything that will risk my life, I'm thinking about probability. Like, I'm not particularly interested in doing a lot of things that causes people a thrill. For instance, like jumping out of a plane, doesn't thrill me, not at all, not in the least bit. Nothing about that makes me say, I wonder what that. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Now, there is a probability that one can die doing that. Now, it's not necessarily a high probability; it's relatively low probability. And the more people jump and are successful in jumping without passing, then the lower the probability. Like getting on a plane, it's a low probability of being in some sort of fatal accident. So when we talk about numbers and when we talk about emotions, then we're trying to see patterns of experiences. So if I engage a certain personality and I keep getting the same results with this particular personality, then that's information that I can collect that's going to allow me to make better decisions in the future, to be able to predict behavior. If you are paying attention to the individuals in your life, you're going to notice patterns between different people in your life. You're going to have people that have similarities, people that have differences, and then you're going to see how these similarities and differences play out in real life scenarios as we play house, as we play work, meaning so as we manage our homes, there are emotions that the family experiences, and the different personalities have their own perspectives and interpretations of these experiences. To the degree that you can be conscious of how people react, how they react according to what happens in the house, so something happens and then there's a consequence, there's a cause and effect. If you can make those cause and effect connections, and then you can begin to input and collect data from those around you, and then you can be more specific by understanding personality types to more clearly see the similarities that people might have beyond the superficial level. People may have traumas in common that cause them to react similarly. And then all this is information, and all this information allows you to create it develops your intuition. I mean, I think that's the best way to put it. It's almost like that is numbers, or understanding the connection between numbers and people and emotions, is how intuitions develop. Now that may be kind of controversial in that, in the idea that intuition, some people may consider intuition as a thing in of itself, right? And I'm saying that it's a muscle, like everything else. And to the degree that you exercise that muscle, to that degree it'll get stronger. And paying attention, being conscious of the patterns of people's behaviors around you will develop that intuition, because you'll be able to pick up on subtle cues that others will miss because they're not paying attention.
Emotions, feelings.
And I guess I could go more on that, but then I'll let my future self talk more, because I chose not to talk about it at that moment. It's important I make an intention to talk about it now, because numbers, that's where I get sacred geometry from. Like, so, and what's the value of sacred geometry? Sacred geometry allows you to see, or to be able to perceive a creator God in an analytical way, in a way that's a lot more logical. You can logically reach the conclusion that there's a creator by understanding sacred geometry. And then that's another conversation. I'm excited about this, because I think I'm gonna just layer conversations about this over this topic, over this period here, and we just layer it and layer it. Because then what sacred geometry does, then it allows you to see creation, see evolution, see transformation, see change, and see the relationship between change, stages and phases, and numbers, right?
How are your feelings driving your actions? Are you aware of it? I am aware. My awareness allows me to be happy.
Happy.
Does it mean I don't get mad? I get mad.
Mad, maybe that was being lazy with words. Frustrated at that point. I don't think I got mad. I got frustrated. And frustrated because I had expectations that weren't being met, right? So then why have expectations to start? So now what emotion was I really having? I was frustrated because I created some expectations and they weren't being met. And I didn't want to use force to make it happen. And I didn't have any other tool or solution to be able to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. And then that's where the frustration came in. And then that frustration can feel like anger, especially if the person that's causing the frustration doesn't take responsibility for their actions, because then it leaves you to believe that you have a problem or you may have been the cause of the problem, which in my opinion is the best way to look at every situation. Is yes, I am totally responsible for the situation that I'm in. Bessie, Bessie, you're coming out in this video. There you go. You just come on, go show your face. Go. You come on. You want to come on? Can you get that, please? So apparently, Bessie wants. So this may be. Let's take a pause here. Go ahead, future self. You want to check? Go ahead, future self. Check me, please. All right, I'm back.
In a different part of my brain. I don't get all worked up, sweat. I get mad intellectually.
It means I stay cool, calm, and collected, right? Which means I'm not being triggered by your expressions. Your expressions missing me. So you say like miss me, right? So miss me with that means void that way. Know what I mean? Cool,
If I perceive an injustice, I'm mad at the principle that's not being followed, rather than getting emotional about it.
Right, it's not personal. It's principle. Now, if people can understand that, then they wouldn't be so sensitive. It's not personal, it's principle. So understand the principle, have some ethic, have some morals, and do the right thing. What's the right thing? Now we're talking about ethics. We're talking about consequentialist, non-consequentialist, or Eonetian virtue ethicist. And I'll let my future self handle that. We gonna leave it right there. We about to hop back in this box. If you want to see more, you know what I mean? Tune in. All right, so let's keep it moving. See more. We back on the tracks. Board, get on play. Blackamore here. There he go. Eonetian Immortal. We talked about this. We've been there. What not to say. Mental illness. What not to say. All the best to you and yours. The 48 laws of power. I wonder why they're put in here. That's an odd place to put it. I think I know why. I probably put the 48 laws of power there because if you understand the way people exercise power over you, then you will understand mental illness, right? So mental illness is related to abuse of power. People who abuse their power, people who exercise power over other people against their consent, cause damage to that individual, physical damage and mental and emotional damage. So if you can understand the 48 laws of power and you can understand how people practice and use power for their gain and for their benefit at the expense of others, then you may be in a position where you can void uh, the experiences, the words, expressions, etc., that may be causing you damage. It's an odd place. Jordan Peterson, how to deal with depression. Some other time we'll go ahead and venture into those, but for now we're gonna just keep it moving. Ease is living in the details. These are some pieces of art that my nine did. Gemini, next time. My nine. Gamify life. Enjoy the journey. Play for fun and win. Winning is being at ease. Accept self as is. Entrepreneurship. Fail fast fund. Now one. All right, boom. Let me break it down. Right? Dream space. That's my destination. That's my goal. Every day I reset so that I could form my dream space. And in my dream space, I'm gamifying life, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to gamify life. I'm going to enjoy the journey. I'm not only going to play for fun, I'm going to play for fun and win. That's the difference. I'm going to play for fun and win. And winning for me is being at ease. So that's the game that I'm playing. I'm playing the game of ease, right? Now, does that mean that I don't go through hard? I don't put myself in challenging situations? That's not what it says. It says that my goal, the game, I'm going to know when I'm winning, when I'm at ease, right? And I'm going to accept myself as I am, right? I'm not going to hold myself to some unrealistic standard. I'm going to seek to become the best version of myself every day. Every day I reset and I practice and I form the character that I wish to be, my best self. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, do it. Fail fast. The faster you fail, the quicker you'll learn and the sooner you'll succeed, right? So failure leads to success. I got that from Quantum Learning. Who got it from The 8 Keys of Excellence, which was written by, I don't remember. Now one, you need to enjoy the process. Otherwise, you will fail. You need to enjoy the process. Otherwise, you will fail. Says Gary V. Gary V. The Path to Financial Freedom. Motivational talk. Another time we'll go into it, but for now we're gonna chill out. Leave it at that. Bored, get on play. Save time, find jewels. 7:30, 8:20, 3:33, one life. Nah, I mean one life. Grand slam. I'm batting 99.99999. I'm gonna tell you what that means to me. When I was younger, or at some point when I was younger, I would say, man, being middle class is easy. This is coming from a poor person, right? So I'm poor financially. So my socioeconomic is low income, right? I'm low income. And I'm saying middle class is easy. All you gotta do is go to school and get a job, or just basically get a job and keep it. So that I said middle class is easy. So I'm gonna go for the fences. I'm gonna go for it all, right? I'm gonna try to win the game. I'm gonna try to grand slam, meaning not just a home run. I want to hit the home run with the bases loaded, because I got this one life, right? And if I got this one life, I just got to get one hit, one grand slam. And that's kind of how I looked at life. I said, I could be middle class by accident. So I'm gonna put all my eggs in this one basket. I'm gonna put all my attention on this one goal, one purpose. And over time that became clear what it was, what it is. And here I am, right? And this is all part of it. Everything I do is part of why I do what I do. Everything is on purpose. Got that from quantum learning too. That's right. Everything. Thomas Sowell on the origins of economic disparity. Sometime we'll spend, in some future moment, we'll spend some time on that. Milton Friedman speaks. Is capitalism humane? We have a lot to go over. Yup. Let's see what we got here. Time for new leadership. Reset, experiment, experience tomorrow, today. Enter the Neo into reality vibranium. Exit mainstream social media current. And that should say time for real leadership, because I think that's a reel, like a video film reel. Reset, experiment, experience tomorrow, today. So the experiment after you reset is enter this experiment, which is to experience tomorrow, today. Meaning like, yo, hop in this box with JRX 36 and let's go get tomorrow and bring it to today, right? So every time you're watching this, you're going into tomorrow and bringing it in today. Because like right now, I'm the tomorrow of that past that's sitting there with his hand like this, just looking at me through time. Because I'm staring back through time and I can see him. Because I can see you. Because I am him, right? Enter the neo inter-reality vivarium, the new inter-reality vivarium. Exit mainstream social media current, right? Hop on a new current, ride a new wave, surf in a new direction, choose a different current. Untitled 2.0, the living experiment. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Why would mindfulness be such an important component of, you have to click on it to see it. Society versus CEO. Whose advice are you following? Society's advice: go to school, learn only while in school, get a job, work to pay off debt, work 40 hours a week forever, trade time for money, 2 weeks vacation to escape, stuck to a schedule, report to a boss, retire at 65, then enjoy life. Or CEO's advice: go to school if you want to, be a lifelong learner, start a business, build multiple flows of income, 80 hours a week for a few years, make money, work for you, travel whenever you want, set your own schedule, work for yourself, be free your entire life. If it was only that easy, right? Well, it is, but you got to do it. Does it mean you're not going to fail? No, you will probably fail and fail and fail, and then you'll succeed. Just like that. Now, is it for everybody? It depends on your risk tolerance. Like if you could handle risk, if you could experience lows, meaning if you can experience poverty and remain calm, cool, and collected, it's for you. If you're unable to remain calm, cool, and collected while in poverty or facing poverty, then you might not be suited for the job. You will experience discomfort, and then you'll experience luxury. Save time, find jewels. Homeschooling as a viable option for African American children. Everybody should be homeschooling. If you don't agree, all right, I'll check you out on the flip side. I'll see about that in 10 years. An economist looks at 90. Tom Sowell on charter schools and something else. I couldn't see it. These are all goodies. You gotta watch it. You got to watch it. Do Black people unschool or practice other forms of self-directed education? Akila, talk on self-direction education. Experiencing You Now, a youth liberation strategy. Real solutions. Time for real leadership. Gamify life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, can liberation be gamified? Can the Black liberation movement be gamified? I say yes. And then the Black liberation movement is not just for Black people, it's for everybody. If Black people are free, everybody is free. And then, you know what? Like, as I say that, I thought about my friend from Hawaii, MGM. He said, if you free Hawaii, you free the world. And I believed him. And I still believe him. If you free Hawaii, you free the world. Because they got the aloha spirit for everybody. If you feel Black people, if you free Black people, you free the world. Because Black people got soul for everybody, right? Soul and aloha is one and the same, just two different perspectives, two different ways of looking at it. Now, I, you, aloha, and so, to me, that's all one and the same. Gamify life, right? Let's gamify the liberation movement. Does it have to be the black liberation movement? If you black, yeah. If you a female, yeah. It's a liberation move. It's a freedom movement. Liberate yourself, right? Liberate yourself. Free yourself. Now, what does it mean to free yourself? Does it mean to go wild? Does it mean to act as if you have no sense? What does it mean to be free? Does it mean to disrespect others and their boundaries? Is that what freedom is? Nah. If you're free and you are a sovereign who's independent and responsible, then you're gonna get all the positives. Now, if you're on the other side, then you get the negatives. That's the call to action. Gamify life, right? Gamify life. Gamify life. Basic principles of game design. Now you see how important gamification is. This is October 2020. Look, I'm dropping all the gems. They all here. If you got the ears to hear, the eyes to see, you're gonna hear and see. I'm telling it all, right? Game design basics. Just go through it. Check it out, right? Connect the dots. Connect the dots. The economic state of Black America 2020. See attached. For time for real leadership that results in Black economic empowerment. Blacker hair, peace. Blackamoor hair. Blackamoor hair. Damon Dash, culture vulture. Man, there's so much gems on my Dame Dash is from Harlem. I'm from Harlem. He's from Harlem. I love Harlem. So much gems on my timeline. So many gems. Time for a pro-social media platform. Ageism, One Generation United. Blackamoor hair. IU. Oh, this is a classic here. This is a classic. I might go ahead and just talk a little bit about this. Well, I'll let my future self talk a little bit about this. Religion overcame superstition. Science overcame religion. Racism overcame science. Classism overcame racism. Genderism overcame classism. Hip hop overcame all of the above. Algorithms overcame hip hop. Reality is here. Experiencing you now. Ageism will overcome algorithms. Artificial intelligence will overcome ageism. Ionic intelligence will overcome artificial intelligence. Reset 2024. My future self. I just want to say that 2024 part. I just love the numbers 2024 and then reset together. I love them. The Gospel of Hip Hop, man, featuring KRS-One. KRS-One. So many gems in this timeline. Gospel. Blackamoor Liberation Movement 2020. Time for real leadership. Attached. History of the Black Liberation Movement post World War II to pre-hip hop golden era. Which economic system offers the best solution for the Black Liberation Movement in 2020? Let's talk about it. Culture Vulture. That's some Dame Dash. Let's see what else I put up in here. Cannon's Class with KRS-One. Shout out. Dr. Claude Anderson talks buying black, voting issues, Powernomics, Thomas Saz. Oh man, Thomas Sowell, Dismantling America. All the goodies are in here. Rise of the Warrior Cop. Oh my gosh. That's the warrior, right? That's a warrior right there. But all these goodies, man. Sheesh, I'm gonna just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Void X marks the spot. Home. You see it? Home. You still see it? Home. October 14, you seen it? Home. October 13, you seen it? Gamify life. Gamify life. You seen it? I wish to form the compassion to reset my relationships. I wish to form the clarity of thought to void that which disrupts. I wish to form the courage to form the lifestyle that reflects the character and conduct I wish to express. What is the character and conduct that you wish to express? Start with that. What is the character and conduct that you wish to express? Start with that. Now, the easiest answer is I seek to form the character and conduct of my best self, right? The best version of me. And then you can start there. Or you can find the superhero that you identify with, or that you would like to connect to, you would like to relate to, and you seek to form the courage to form the lifestyle that reflects that character and their conduct. But start there and end in the first sentence, which is I wish to form the compassion to reset our relationship. So it's written backwards. It's 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. It's another gems, just gems after gems after gems. If you don't break it down then. I got nothing else for you, right? Give me that. What does that mean? Let me break it down before my future self get in it. That's what I thought. I wish to form the compassion to reset my relationships. That means before I hold the grudge, right? I don't want to hold the grudge. I don't want to feel resentment. I got to practice compassion so that I can reset, forgive and forget the negative of the relationships that I'm in. I wish to form the compassion to reset my relationships. And by reset, I mean just reset it to neutral, like we're good, we're even, right? I just want to be able to reset it. It takes compassion, right? It takes patience, right? I wish to form the clarity of thought to avoid that which disrupts. So what does that mean? That means if you're foggy, there are going to be times when you don't void disruptions because you didn't see it, because you weren't clear. So to make a wish to have clarity of thought seems to be like the best wish you could make if you want to be able to identify all the potential disruptions that are coming at you. Right? Don't you want that, right? I want that. I want to be able to hear what I need to void so that I could void it and not let it affect me. Right? That's what I wish. I wish to form the clarity of thought to void that which disrupts. I wish to form the courage to form the lifestyle. So that means this lifestyle isn't necessarily easy. It requires courage. So I wish to form the courage necessary to be able to form the lifestyle that reflects the character and conduct I wish to express. That means it takes courage to behave in this way, in the way that you wish to express yourself, the character and conduct that you wish to express. It takes courage to form that lifestyle. I mean, those are just gems right there. I'm gonna just drip it going. What we got here? Drip, drip, they drip.
With hatred. If you read the newspapers, certain of the newspapers.
This is for the haters, know what I'm saying? Because there's haters everywhere, right? So I want to connect to the haters. I want to connect to those that experience and express hate. Coexist. That's my instruction. Is coexist. Tolerate. Coexist, right? And so this is Jordan Peterson. He's talking about how he's being perceived or spoken of in the mainstream.
You know, I've been attacked in the way that people who don't hold politically correct views are generally attacked. I've been called a variety of appropriate negative names.
I mean, that's because he used words that were not politically correct, right? So if he used words that caused him to be misidentified or identified with characters that are traditionally or politically demonized, such as racists, such as bigots, such as you fill in the blank, then that'll cause people to cause damage to your character, to your public persona. So people have attempted and have injured his public persona, and he's speaking on that. Has anyone injured your public persona? Do you seek or desire to protect and preserve your public persona? Do you care what people think about you? I do, but not so much that I'm gonna let it affect me, but so much that I will let it influence me and my behavior, which is why I seek to behave in the best way I could. I want to react, I want to respond in the best way possible to others. I want to be patient, I want to be compassionate, I want to be all of those positive words, because why not? Why not? I want to be an oasis in the desert. And I just got that from one of our volunteers where I do what I do, refer to the organization that I work for as an oasis in the desert, right? So that I want to be that. I want to be that. I want to source personal and community transformation. I want to be about that. I want to strengthen and instill pride in family and community. Like, I'm about that life, right?
And I've had people go after my career and my reputation in a relatively serious manner. But that's not my life. My life is, in some sense, unimaginably positive. Well, first of all, I've gone to about 150 cities in the last year with my wife, which has been quite a remarkable adventure. And in each
Yes, whenever you put yourself in the public eye, whenever you have an opinion and you make it known in a public setting, you create opposition. Those that oppose your statement, oppose you, those that will seek to sabotage you, right? And it happens. I wish that I experience ease. I wish I only have fans, right? I wish only good things come from those that hear what I have to say. I wish that. And the instruction here is to have the courage to express. So have the courage to express yourself, even though opposition may present itself. And not all. So not all means not everyone's a hater. There's a lot of lovers out there. So have confidence in yourself, manifest destiny, and express yourself. Have the courage to express yourself. United we stand. The fellas right there. Now, I don't believe in bloodshed, so that shirt that I'm wearing there, I haven't worn it in a minute because I don't believe in bloodshed. I don't believe in bloodshed. So I choose not to promote individuals that promote bloodshed. Now, on that same note, that's a good conversation to have. So at some point, we got to have this conversation about capitalism and communism, because look, the next post is communism got next, and the shirt I had was a Che Guevara shirt, which represents communism, right? So do I want communism to come next? I'd love to talk about that. So comment on it. Maybe I'll talk back, but I'm gonna talk a little bit here. No, not with the people that have power right now. I don't want communism if they in power. And I'm sure they said the same thing. I wouldn't want that version of communism, because there's certain versions of communism that is very violent and seeks to eliminate its competition or those that threaten it. And I'm not with bloodshed. I am not with bloodshed, right? That's not me. That's not Not in 2020, not in what you guys call 2021. There's no need for that. We now have the ability to communicate with each other and influence each other in a positive manner. But not for me. Communism got next, reset. Market capitalism has failed in pandemic, needs reform. Reform, not communism, right? Like, we want y'all really want that? I don't want. You want communism? About that life, better be careful what you wish for. Right. And the reason I say that, if you about that life, because what if you happen to be on the opposite side of those in power when it comes to some moral act, right? Like, what if some people, what if the leadership decides that the way that you express yourself is immoral or is unethical, and then now they have the ability to jeopardize your livelihood based on that? Yeah, based on your belief system. Yeah, I'll pass on that. You'll get your own version of that. 'Cause that goes both ways. Like, yeah, it might feel real good now if we're causing suffering and damage to an other group who may not have a popular belief system. But what happens when it's your turn? What happens when your belief system is the one that's under attack or being highlighted as a source of decadence, as a source of negativity in the society, right? You know, that it dehumanizes those individuals that practice that. And when you dehumanize someone, I mean, what do people, don't people eat animals? Right? They don't eat people, right? So what happens when you dehumanize someone? You put them at the level of an animal, and you find yourself to be superior to them. And what a mistake. Be careful what you wish for. Why are you alive today? Are you a player, a student, a worker, or a combination of the three? Message to ones. If life is a game, play it to win. Yes. Otherwise, play for fun. If you can play for fun and win, you already know. That means if you can go all in on G, all in on me, all in on you, yeah, right. You will win if you go all in on you and you are persistent and you practice every day. Guaranteed win. If it's school, learn it all. Otherwise, master one craft. If life is work, earn your respect. Otherwise, work to be charming, funny, or charismatic. Self-explanatory. So self-explanatory that I'm gonna be quiet and my future self can address it. Be conscious of incoming and outgoing expressions. Message to one. Opposition takes form when I suggest and or express implicitly or explicitly to be in a superior position physically, financially, emotionally, and or morally. Any ism, basically. If you are behaving yourself, and it can be called racism, sexism, any ism, whatever, then yeah, you already create an opposition. Guaranteed to go down, guaranteed to have experiences where you will meet that opposition, especially if you're expressive, especially if you like to voice your opinion in a public setting where you have a high likelihood of coming across someone who disagrees. Opposition will be there. Oh yeah. Oh see. Once opposition exists, express thoughts about the past and or future events and or experiences cause those in opposition to be disrupted. That means they are gonna rub you the wrong way. Once someone don't like you, whatever you do is gonna rub them the wrong way. I mean, you think they're gonna think it's cute? They will not think it's cute. It will rub them the wrong way. What does it mean to be rubbed the wrong way? It means that when you touch me, it don't feel good. That means you rubbed me the wrong way. Now, guess what? You don't even gotta touch me for me to not feel good. Now, that's the level of opposition. Meaning, the moment I hear the sound of your voice, it don't feel. The moment you are in my presence, even if there's walls between us, you know what I mean? That's the kind of feeling right there. When people are not vibing, they not vibing. Right. So the moment that you even remotely put yourself in a position that looks like you're higher than someone else, the moment the moment that someone perceives that you are behaving in some form of a superior manner, you're gonna get opposition. That's just it. That's just the easy way to put it. Or you're gonna get opposition the moment you decide to sit at the head of the table. Right? Go ahead, sit at the head of the table. Call the shots, be a shot caller, and you see opposition coming, right? That's just it. And once opposition exists, anything you say about the past and the future is gonna disrupt the opposition. Everything you say can and will be used against you, just how it is in a court of law. So you might as well be yes. Ooh, go ahead, show me that. I want to see that NFAC. The All Black Not Effing Around Coalition. Show it. Don't skip it. So this is historical purposes. We'll play it. Look at all that power, right? Look at all that power. With unity comes power. You don't need weapons for power. Now, this is a good show of
JC, I'm doing a mic check. Make some ancestral noise out this motherfucker, please. All right, let me try this one more time.
Does that make us animals?
Last time I checked,
the
Constitution of the United States applies to everybody. Last time I checked. Newsflash, America. That includes black people too.
That's right.
Not sometimes. Not maybe, perhaps. Not depending on which one we decide to exercise. Not depending on how you was raised. Not depending on the fact that you still think of us as property. Not depending on any of that shit. It's either all of us or none of it. It's either all the rights or none of the rights.
Tell them.
It's either peace and equal justice for everybody.
It is though.
Or there's nothing but war.
See, now for me, listen, it's peace all day right here. It's peace all day. You know why? Because I got one plan, and that's to win. And when you at war, the best general is the one that could win without bloodshed. Who said that? That was the Art of War, I think, that said that. If it's to win the battle before you even draw a weapon. Can you win the battle without ever drawing a weapon? Yes. That's the goal. Now, you know, who's perfect, right? I'm not. I'm clearly imperfect.
I'm sick of this shit. Am I lying? A lot of y'all said it's happening at the hands of the police. People getting shot, then they don't want to tell you what happened. People getting brutalized, and they lying about what happened to him, saying he died in a car accident, but the boy looked beat to death to me.
So, you know, this is a down vibe from what we used to. But, you know, for historical purposes, like JRX said, I think it's important we play it, right? Why not? And there's something we can learn from everybody, right? Everybody. And this was a good look for Black America. You know, don't gotta agree with the man, whatever. You don't gotta agree. But I think it showed a level of unity, and there was some level of organization, you know, and you know, but it went negative, right? Because their leader has been arrested, and the charges appear to be, you know what? How about my future self? Not the next one, but the next one. We'll come back to this one, and we'll talk about Grandmaster J.
Karma is a motherfucker, isn't it?
Even in the hands of the Creator, I will choose not to be karma unless I got permission to be your karma. Now, if you give me permission to be your karma, you know, then more power to me, right? But if I don't got your permission, I don't care to be your karma. May the Creator handle you, and may He have mercy. He or she, may it May the Creator have mercy on you.
The way you lied is the way you died. Say that boy hit a tree, and then the person who killed him, he died by hitting the tree. Did you know that? You see, when it's our time, it doesn't make a difference what color your skin is if you ignore the history that we have in this country. Black people have been oppressed, depressed, marginalized, lied on, copied off of, and handed a raw fucking deal for almost 250 years in this country.
Right.
Somebody said they...
People say 400 if you go back to like the Columbus time, and you know what I mean, like right after Columbus, 1492, then 1500s, and back from there, this country still didn't exist in its current form. It didn't have a constitution in its current form. So some people say it was been more than 400 years.
To make America great again. Nah.
Okay, so maybe that's a good time to end it for now. If y'all want to check it out, go back to my timeline and find it October 3rd, 2020. But we gonna keep it moving. We going to keep it moving. What's this right here? Guess I can't go there. One united people living in dream space. You already know where my dream is at. Hi, my name is Youthful and I daydream. I daydream all day, every day. When I am daydreaming, I am visualizing. Sometimes I daydream about heaven on earth. In my daydream, this place is called Ionisha. In Ionisha, art, science, and philosophy are properly positioned and expressed. The proper positioning and expression of the three correspond with the orderly functioning of Ionesian society. It works and it feels like play. In Ionisha, I am everybody and everybody is we. It feels like one family. Boom. And I'm going to just talk about the short paragraph, the couple sentences that says, in Ionisha, art, science, and philosophy are properly positioned and expressed. What does that mean? That means that there's a place for art, there's a place for science, and there's a place for philosophy. And to say that they're properly positioned and expressed means that they are in alignment with their objective. So what does that mean? So for instance, science is for the body. Science is for the mind. Science is for the body. What does that mean? That means take a scientific approach to healing, to maintaining, to conditioning your body. Take an artist approach to relationships, to love. Like, give your heart to art. Give your mind to philosophy. You know, give your body to science. That's what this is talking about. You know, so like, live the life of an artist, but take care of your body like a scientist, and dwell and contemplate on the world like a philosopher, right? And then be all at one, and that's the Renaissance man. And here comes in the Ionesian Renaissance, the individual that has proper alignment and positioning of art, science, and philosophy. They have integrated themselves, and now they are the new man, the overman, right? They are the overman, the superman. Aww. All right, so we're gonna end it with this. Not this, but this. But let's read this. Let's see. Yeah, we'll read this. It is what it is. It will be what it shall be. A Troy for a mark. That's not justice in my book. Then again, what's justice and where's my book? If you're not in it, you ain't in it. All right, a Troy for a mark. Man, that means expect something that's coming hidden. And they're gonna mark you. All in, all in.
American Negro collectively is richer than most nations of the world. We have an annual income of more than $30 billion a year, which is more than all of the exports of the United States and more than the national budget of Canada. Did you know that? That's power right there if we know how to prove it.
We should own and operate and control the economy of our community. We have to become involved in a program of re-education to educate our people into the importance of knowing that when you spend your dollar out of the community in which you live, the community in which you spend your money becomes richer and richer. The community out of which you take your money becomes poorer and poorer. And because these Negroes who have been misled, misguided, are breaking their necks to take their money and spend it with the man. The man is becoming richer and richer, and you're becoming poorer and poorer. And then what happens? The community in which you live becomes a slum. It becomes a ghetto. The conditions become run down. And then you have the audacity to complain about poor housing in a run-down community. Why, you run it down yourself when you take your dollar.
We've got to strengthen black institutions. I call upon you to take your money out of the banks downtown and deposit your money in Tri-State Bank. We are telling you to follow what we are doing. Put your money there. You have 6 or 7 black insurance companies here. Take out your insurance there. Now, these are some practical things that we can do. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. We've got to give ourselves to this struggle until the end. We've got to see it through.
So our people not only have to be re-educated to the importance of supporting black business, but the black man himself has to be made aware of the importance of going into business. And once you and I go into business, we own and operate at least the businesses in our community. What we will be doing is developing a situation wherein we will actually be able to create employment for the people in the community.
The black man must unite in one grand racial hierarchy, making a racial empire upon which the sun shall never set. Be black, buy black, think black, and all else will take care of itself.
So amazing.
Powerful. Yeah, we're gonna just close it out with that. That's home. Jaded. It's been another wonderful time, and take your time. We'll go ahead and have JJ Everyday Day tune us out.
Tune out. The Black Hair Party has presented the Real Talk Show. We talk about friendship, love, and purpose. That was your host, Crown Jewels, and Javian XI. And we will see you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Yeah. While we wait on JJ Everyday Day, we about to just hop on this box. And we here, look, that's where we just left off. Now we back. And I had to go back. Let me see if I could get there in super speed motion. Let's see if I can get there before. Let's actually just enjoy the view. How about that? Let's enjoy the view. Oh, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. You about to just see me chilling.
Steady pace here, because that's where the bugs will be right here. So just keep a steady pace on the trail. How does somebody go?
that Q on your
To
chest.
now, the Backyard Party has presented the Real Talk Show. We talk about friendship, love, and purpose. That was your host, JRX36, and we will see you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye. 1 hour, 40 minutes, or otherwise 100 minutes.